yeah, I got the main Decepticon baddies, I got Megatron, I got Starscream, I got Soundwave, but I think we're missing one. Where is Shockwave? Ah, what the fuck? How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta. In all seriousness, I do enjoy the core class line. If you see my previous review, I take a look at core class, Rat Trap, and Starscream, but that's in the Kingdom line. But the core class idea, it has expanded to the Studio Series line, and that is where we're going to take a look. Studio Series Shockwave from the Transformers Bumblebee movie. Just to get this out of the way, I did miss out on the Siege Shockwave figure. That's because during that time, I kind of gave up on collecting Transformers toys. But thanks to my buddy TFG, shout out to him, subscribe to him as well, he got me back into collecting them. So moving on to the review, I don't know why the first choice was Shockwave when it comes to those Studio Series core class figures. Hoping that this figure would be a Voyager class, but nope, the best we got is just core class. And I hope they do a Voyager of him later on. Alright, so taking a look at the packaging real quick. See that they got rid of this plastic window, just to show that Takara and Hasbro are saving plastic. Good on them. Right on top, we see a nice CG render of Shockwave. Moving on to this side of the box, same CG render, different background. On the back of the box, you can see that it takes 13 steps going from robot mode to vehicle mode. And this side of the box, we see the same CG render again, but this time almost a full body shot. And when you pull out the box, you do get this nice piece of cardboard with the battle in Cybertron. I don't know if you want to call this a display piece. I mean, look at these holes and this cutout. It's going to be a bit distracting. So with those two out of the way, let's talk about the scientist himself, Shockwave. Taking a look at Shockwave on the looks department, I have to say, he looks amazing. I would even say it's almost on par with the movie. And looking on the back, holy moly, there's like no kibble. He almost looks like one of those expensive Transformers figures that don't transform. Well, if it was an expensive Transformers figure, why would he have those hollow gaps on the side of the legs and under the arms? Okay, I'm not trying to be too hard on the figure. It's just something I just want to point out. As the painting goes, there's only some on the head, and that is really well detailed. And on the weapons as well, which would be the silver parts. The thing I want to point out on my copy, I'm not sure if the knee is supposed to be gunmetal paint, but I do see bits of purple sticking out. I do appreciate the paint job they did on this figure, but you know what it's missing? The Decepticon logo, and I looked everywhere on the figure and I couldn't find it. You know what else is missing on Shockwave? The cable from the cannon all the way to the back. And now you know why I said that this figure is almost screen accurate. Onto the accessories, well, you're looking at one, which would be the cannon on Shockwave's arm. And the handle does move back, but that's part of the transformation. Moving on to articulation, the head can only rotate. The shoulder is only on a ball joint. There is a bicep rotation right up there. And there's also another rotation on the forearm, and for the elbow bend, well, it's only going to be less than 90 degrees. The leg can kick up this far, move back that far, and due to design, it can't do the full splits. Moving down to the leg, it is sculpted in a slight angle, and the foot can move up this far just a little bit, and it can move back that far, but that's part of the transformation. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Overall, the articulation is not the best, but it's somewhat serviceable. I've seen better articulation, Rat Trap, but I do appreciate the forearm rotation just to make up for the wrist rotation. Size comparisons, here he is right next to the Kingdom Core Class Starscream. Now, even though these two are from completely different continuities, but I can still say they go well together. Question is, should I get Core Class Soundwave and Megatron to go with these guys? Here it is right next to the Voyager Class Optimus Prime, Godzilla, and the 1/144 scale Gundam. So that's about it for the size comparisons. It's time to move on to the vehicle mode. The same thing for the other side. We're going to do the same thing for the other arm. And here we have the vehicle mode, or if you want to call it the Cybertron tank mode. Transformation is actually pretty easy. Well, it is a core class figure. The transformations are pretty easy. Now, we never saw Shockwave transformed in the movie, just because he was only in there for like, 10 seconds. But it is really nice that Hasbro Takara gave us a vehicle mode. If I had to point out which bomb with the vehicle mode, well, we do see the hands. I mean, it's a core class figure. I shouldn't be too hard on it. And since we're on the back of the tank mode, it's not the most solid area of the tank. I mean, it is nice and solid overall, but just try not to grab the back of the vehicle. I mean, I guess it's the best way to hide a head, but with the head rotation, it does move the cannon side to side, and it can also move up and down. Well, that's because that's part of the weapon. And taking a look under the vehicle, and I gotta say, it looks pretty nice. So is it me, or does this tank look like it's something from Halo? And one last thing, I move on to the size comparisons. Unfortunately, the tank treads does not move. Well, that's because due to design, it is in a fixed position. Comparisons, here he is right next to Kingdom Core Class Starscream. Taking a look at the top view, you can see that Starscream is longer than Shockwave. And in terms of the width, Starscream wins again. And in terms of height, it looks like it's a tie. Finally, here it is right next to the Gundam, Godzilla, and Optimus Prime. So that's about it for the size comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Moving on to my final thoughts. Overall, if you really love the design of this version of Shockwave, I say go for it because I like the design too. But the thing is, the articulation could have been so much better. Maybe that's just me being nitpicky because this is a bulky design. And don't get me wrong, I really like this figure. It's solid and it's almost screen accurate. Oh, it is a damn shame I missed out on the Siege Shockwave. Alright, so that's about it for the review. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this content and if you're new here, consider subscribing to see more. Questions, concerns, comment down below. Leave a like as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, you guys see me build a Bandai model kit, a Flame Toys model kit, but never a Kotobukiya kit.